Pudgy Picker here in my office. I was going to do this video outside, but then the city came by and was grinding up all the branches of my neighbor, and you couldn't hear a bomb go off outside. I went out and I laid in the sun for a little bit, and then I thought, you know, I'll just do my video outside. And then they pulled up and started grinding that up, but I'm thankful, very happy. I need to mow my grass, and there was a lot of branches that had been spilled into my yard. But that's fine. I'll be able to mow my grass now. And before they left, I went out and they were all loading up, and I just waved, and they looked at me like, what's this crazy woman waving about? And I said, thank you, I appreciate you. You know, you have to show appreciation, because I know with the storms that we had, you know, a week and a half ago, yeah, that it's been a decent amount of time cleaning up and getting the power. We were out of power for several days, but you have to say thank you and appreciate those people. So let's get on to what we need to talk about. This video is my weight loss on semaglutide for week number 6, my results. So this being week 6, it covers August 14th, my trusty paper, that's what I'm reading, through August 20th. So my starting weight this week was 245.4 pounds, and my ending weight is 241.6. So that is a loss of 3.8 pounds. Awesome. My overall starting weight from July 1st until now, my July 1st, I was 264.4, making my total loss of 22.8 pounds. Woohoo! So, all that being said, you know, last week was like a little, only lost 0.2, and I wasn't too down in that video because I know there's ebbs and flows. You can do everything right, and it just, the scale doesn't move as much as you think it should. And then you continue to do things okay and right and just working hard, and then it bumps down. So there is a hazard of weighing yourself every day. I think this week I ended up skipping a day or two of weighing in just because I was like, I don't have to do this every day, and as long as I get the weekly one, I'm fine. When I talked to my nutritionist, she's like, you know, if it's bothering you to weigh yourself every day, you probably shouldn't. And I was like, yeah. I mean, it's nice to, you know, keep track and write it in my book, but I think I've been doing this long enough where I don't think I have to. So again, you know, we'll see, but I'll definitely be doing it on my weigh-in days so that I can give you this information. So how did my week go? I'll be honest with you, and that's what this is all about, is being honest and transparent and telling you my experiences on this medication and this weight loss journey, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. I had a little bit of all that this week. I would say out of all the 6 weeks that month and a half I've been doing this, I think that this week was probably physically the hardest week I've had to do. And I'm going to be completely transparent and let you know all my symptoms, my side effects, because it's important for you to know that that it can happen. Not everything on this journey or any journey is smooth sailing. Everything goes according to plan, etc. But this was a difficult week. So my appetite was not very good. I did not, I had just, you know, feeling, you think about, oh, I should probably eat something, and you're like, ugh. So it was that. Kind of like when you've been sick and then you start to feel better, and you're feeling a little bit better, but you're like, you think, oh man, should I eat some? It doesn't sound good. So yeah, that's basically where I was at. So when I went grocery shopping this past week, I usually don't keep any kind of tree nuts in the house, because it was something that used to trigger me. I couldn't just eat a little, and they are very calorie dense, and I was like, So this week I actually bought some cashews, and if I was at a little bit of a deficit at the end of the day, I was trying to stick between that 15 to 1700 calories, and there would be days that I could be around 9 or 1,000 or even maybe 1,100. So I would have a small handful, measured of course, of nuts just to satisfy that hunger and it sounded like it would taste good and I could afford the calories. So that's my thinking on that. I don't expect to be, eating those every day or whatever, but that was what I had to do this week because my appetite was near zilch. So side effects. It's funny. I've had a few side effects here and there. We've talked about them. You've heard me express, in the beginning I had slight headaches, and then, a little bit of that nausea, a little bit of that, you're feeling that, oh, and then it goes away, that kind of thing. So it wasn't like I was consistently nauseous where it was like, oh, I got to do something about this. This is terrible. So I had stomach cramps this week. Now, these are the kind of cramps, the only way I can, if you've never had these kind of cramps, the best way I can describe it is if you've had like a bad cold and you're coughing a lot, or you've been very sick and you've been throwing up a lot and your stomach muscles just feel like just tightened up and tense and, pain. So that's where I was at with the stomach cramps. I had nausea. It was more than usual, more than I had the first couple weeks. And I know this is TMI, but we're all here for the truth. Diarrhea for about 3 days. So, you always hear about how people are constipated. And that's been a little bit of an issue, but nothing where I had to, I got to take something or I got to do something to relieve this. That wasn't a problem. But there was the fear of going 2 days this way, and I was like, man, if I take Imodium, if I take something to stop this, am I going to ricochet to the other side of being stopped up? Either the faucet's fully on or it's completely turned off. Yeah, you get it. So I ended up taking Imodium on the 3rd day because I was just like, I just can't. I mean, I had a few things to do in the house, and it took me way longer to do it because I was trying to go slow and take it easy and not overdo it. Trying to be gentle with myself, but I still have things I gotta do. I run a business, I run 2 businesses, and I have things around the house. I have 2 dogs, I have a husband, I have a lot to do. So I kind of muddled through it, but I just did it a little bit slower. So literally for 3 to 4 days out of this week, that's where I was. Now, does that, the cramps and all that pain and everything, is that point of the 3.8? Maybe. But I feel definitely better now. I think yesterday was my first full day where in the morning I was a little bit, how's it going to be today? But I was decent all day. And then today, it's probably like 2 o'clock now. I've been pretty good today too. So I'm like, whew, I think I'm done. But then, by the time that let off, then I got to take my shot today. So in the next day and a half, I'll be tired. And then after that, I'm like, am I going to have the same week that I had this week? There are people who have quit this medication because of the side effects became too much. But I am doing what I can and what I'm supposed to do to kind of counteract that. With being in the bathroom so much, I kind of upticked my water because I knew if I'm having that problem, I don't want to get dehydrated, and then that could lead to, your kidneys are struggling. So I was trying to do what I could here at home to manage that. I think I also bought the little baby cans of ginger ale, diet ginger ale. That was kind of nice to have that, and maybe a couple of crackers or something like that. Toast, I had toast. My protein shakes, I was still eating those, drinking those, because they still sounded like they would taste good, and they did, and it kind of filled me up. But yeah, so a lot of side effects this week. Exercise. I started walking. The weather's been nice. It's been getting a little bit cooler outside. I think today it's not even going to hit 70. So I went out walking on Friday. It's funny because the nutritionist is like, just, if you're going to walk, just, maybe set your timer and just start with like 10 minutes, walk 10 minutes, have have an alarm set. And then when it's done, you could turn around and head back home. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I could do that. So I set my timer and then I walk, and then I'm thinking, Boy, that feels like longer than 10 minutes. I set it for 15. So I took a half an hour walk, which was fine. I mean, I felt good. It was a good thing. So, yeah. So, 15 minutes out, and then when my alarm goes off, then I just head back home. So, try that. It works. I'm probably going to go today, but I have my house opened up, and my husband, Mr. Pudgy Picker, is out of the house working today. So he's planning on being home around dinner, so I'm hoping I can squeeze in a walk. Either that or I could just close up the windows and just go for a walk by myself. I don't know. I'm one of those old people who just don't like to leave my house open if I'm going to be gone even a half an hour. I just, I don't trust it. That's just how I am. So yeah, walk on Friday, walk today. I could have gone walking yesterday, but for those of you only follow my weight loss, I do resell. I resell on eBay, and I also have an space in an antique mall. And that store is closed Mondays and Tuesdays. So every probably 3 months, 2 to 3 months, we have what we call a restocking day. So yesterday was Monday, so the store was closed, but it was open just to vendors to go in and switch out inventory. So I was probably there about 5 hours yesterday. So yeah. So definitely I'll walk today and maybe once or twice more this week. I'm shooting for 2 to 3 times a week. So yeah, there's that. Mood. You know, it's kind of hard to be in a good mood when you don't feel well, so I get that, but I just tried to push through, do a little bit at a time. If I felt like I needed to, you know, lay down, not necessarily take a nap, but just lay down. I did take some like Gas X too, because I was having, and the other in the side effect arena, you know, we don't want to miss any of these fun side effects. Excuse me, but I was also, now that I'm burping, I was having sulfur burps. Have you ever had those? Also called rotten egg burps. For the first day or so, I had these for like 2.5 days. They kind of, you know, smelled bad. But it was more just, they sound different. I don't know. If you know, you know. So I was doing a lot of that and just being, ugh. So that was hard. So mood-wise, it was pretty good for what I had to go through. And that brings me to my last few minutes. I want to discuss the psychological effects of the medicine that I'm taking, how it's making me feel, and how that is at a direct clash from how I used to feel. So stick with me, you'll understand. So previous times when I've eaten right, I've tried to do the right thing, I'm moving, I'm doing the right thing, I feel really good. On this medication, I don't feel as good. There's always a certain amount of bloating, you know, puffiness in your stomach, that in my brain associates to not eating right. So, you know, you feel that way, and there, you know, in the past, you know, you'd be like, oh, I ate this and that's probably why, and oh, this is my punishment. You know, stupid stuff you say to yourself. But having issues like the sulfur burps, I mean, that's something, if I had ever binged previously, that, you know, you have that and you're like, you know, you ate too much and the food's still sitting in your stomach, and that's why you're doing that. And so again, that's associating how I'm presently feeling doing the right thing to how I used to feel when I was not on track. So I hope this makes sense, but when you have certain, you know, physical side effects from the medication that you know is ultimately helping you lose the weight, it's still hard because psychologically your brain is like, you feel that way because you didn't eat right, or, well, you used to feel that way because you weren't, you know, eating on track, or you weren't moving, or you were this, or you were that. So it's weird to kind of, you know, tell yourself, no, it's a side effect of the medicine. I'm doing what I should be doing. I will wait it out. I will be fine. I know when I looked up more information on it, it was saying, this could be up to 2 weeks that you have these more intense side effects. And I know some people, when it first happens, they're like, oh, I can't do this. Well, first of all, this is not a daily medication. So it's not like, oh, well, I don't feel well, maybe I'll skip a dose. No, this is once a week. So once you take that shot, there's no there's no unringing that bell. So that is to say, once you have some side effects and you're going through that, you're just there. You're just experiencing it. So I was glad that I started to feel better after 3 or 4 days. I'm going to see how this week goes. And if I have any issue past this coming week, then I think, I may talk to the doctor and say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Is there other things that you can tell me that's going to help me get through these stages until my body adjusts and regulates to that? So I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm not in a position where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick, I need to go to the hospital. Nothing like that. It's just a minor inconvenience to me. I know people experience pain or other issues differently, but for me, I'm like, you know what? It's helping. I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to continue what I'm doing. And if I have any effects this week, then that'll be the 2 weeks. Week after that, if I have any effects, I'm able to call my doctor, message her. I have appointments set up, but if something comes up and I'm like, ooh, I don't feel right, something's wrong, I have a question, I really want an answer on it now, I can message her. I haven't done that yet because I really haven't felt the need. I'm not one that if I'm on a medication or I constantly feel like, oh my gosh, I only lost half pound. What about this? What about that? Oh wait, should I did that? Oh, I don't know, but I don't need a lot of hand holding. I mean, that's just my personality. I know what I need to do, and I'll do it. If I have any questions, I'll kind of research, figure it out, try to understand it, and then if I can't, I will escalate it to the doctor and ask them questions. So, it's nothing that's made me want to step back from the medication. I told myself when I started this that I was going to give myself, a good 6-9 months to do this. I'm not in a hurry to keep increasing my dose. Again, I've said that I know there's insurance companies that are like, yeah, we're going to pay for it, but you have to go by the schedule that's laid out in the paper that's this big that you fold out and it ends up being poster size. Week 1 you do this, week 2 you do this, week 3, there's no allowance for, hey, wait, can I hang back another month and kind of let my body get used to this before I go up? And I'm glad that I've stayed the same, even though people are like, oh, well, the 0.25, that's not even a therapeutic dose. Well, it's helping me. It's helping my brain know, hey, you shouldn't eat that or you shouldn't drink that because that could cause worse problems. It could cause worse side effects, and we don't want that. So it's an accountability buddy for me, if you want to, say it that way. So I'm very happy with where I am, how far I've gotten, what progress I have made so far. And I feel good about that. So, I'm going to keep staying the course. Some weeks, you have 0.2, and then other weeks, today I had over 3. That's not the usual. That's not the recommended. It's funny because they say, well, you should lose in a month an average of 1 to 2 pounds. What they don't tell you is your body could just go down a little, and then it goes bonk. So, yeah. So when you average it out and you see, okay, this is how it's going, that's your body figuring out what it's doing. And I'm all about that. And I know that I didn't wake up one morning being, almost 300 pounds and going, oh, what happened? So I know it's not going to happen overnight. I keep telling myself that. If you have a hard time with keeping yourself motivated, literally go here on YouTube and type in weight loss motivation or just motivation, and it's just there'll be a whole bunch of different videos of somebody saying you got this, and you need that. You absolutely need that. Also, find somebody in your immediate life, your immediate family, that you can talk to, that doesn't that isn't upset that you're taking the medication, that isn't like, well, I told you not to take that, I've heard all kinds of bad things. And if you don't have someone in your life that's like that, find a Facebook group, find a group of people that are going through the same thing, and you can have that shared experience. And those are the people that you can talk to, and you can share your concern or your worry. My only issue is on some of those groups is there's so many, oh, I just started this. What's going to be my side effects? Or, oh, what about that? Or what about... And a certain amount of that you can't predict. You have to be your own person. Some people have side effects worse than others. Some people have side effects right away. 6 weeks, nothing. Or 5 weeks, nothing. And then 6 weeks, I'm like, holy crap, what happened to me? So, it's everyone's experience is different. And I'll finish this video with letting you know, again, I'm not a doctor, not a nurse, not in the healthcare field. I am not encouraging or telling people that they should take these medicines or any other medicine. That's between you and your doctor. What is going to fit best for you may not be what fits best for me. Even if you take the exact same thing I'm taking, it may not work. It may work better. It may work worse. You may have more side effects. So I am just documenting, as like for these videos, my journey, my experience, my opinions, my emotions. And it's a way to share with people, but it's also a way for me to look back and see where I've come from, how far I've gotten, and to keep that going. And I know also being accountable on here, I've never shared any other time that I've tried weight loss, just because I'm like, I don't want to do, really well and then do horrible and then be dogpiled or beat up about it. I didn't want that. So it was a big step for me to share any of this with you for 20 some minutes. So we're going to wrap up. That is all that I have for you this week. Some weeks I got a little more to say. Other weeks it's like, here we are. We're just plugging along. So I appreciate you tuning in. If you stayed this long, please put a piece of fruit in the comment section so I'll be like, okay, I know you were watching. So I do appreciate it again for tuning in. I will see you guys next time for week number 7. So I will see you guys there. And until then, get out there. Take care of yourself. It's important. If you don't put yourself first, who's going to do that? Do it. I'll see you guys next week. And until then, bye.